Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Green College Football Week 12. Let's go, Ace.
All right, boys and girls, college football Week 12. Cannot wait, Big Ree. Coming off a doozy Week 11 for me. Big Ree, you went 3-0. You're on complete fire in college football. I think 75% win record. And I just had a doozy of a weekend. The back door really got me last week bad. It was one of those weekends I need to just throw away in the cooler. And so, but no discourage. We're going to get some revenge this week, boys and girls. Feel like it's a really juicy week. So without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. Let's go. All right, game one. We got Purdue at Washington. Washington is a 17-point favorite. We got Purdue 2-8, coming off a 34-10 loss to Ohio State. As I said earlier, they were down 34-3 and they had a backdoor touchdown to cover. They got outgained in this game 473-186. Touchdown with 145 to cover here. They are on an 8-game losing streak. They have given up at least 27 points in 6 of their last 8 games. And then we got Washington, who is 6-3. They're coming off a 13-10 loss to Wisconsin at Wisconsin. They have lost 2 of their last 3 games after starting 5-1. They are led by quarterback Demond Williams Jr. This guy's playing well. 71% completion, 2,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He's also got 490 yards on the ground and 4 rushing touchdowns. And here's my thoughts here. Washington has not given up more than 25 points all season long. They are a much better home team. They are 4-1 at home, and their only loss at home was to Ohio State. And I like their defense to play well, but I like their offense to play even better at home. I like them to win 38, maybe 13, 38-17. And so I'm taking Washington minus 17. All right, game 2. We got the UCLA Bruins at Ohio State. Ohio State is a 31.5-point favorite. UCLA 3-8, coming off a 28-21 loss versus Nebraska. They are on a 2-game losing streak after a 3-game winning streak, which was after a 3-game losing streak to start the season, and their coach Deshaun Foster got the boot. QB Nico Aleva playing solid, but honestly, this guy has got no offensive weapons, no running backs, no receivers, nothing. It's him and a bunch of high schoolers. That's what it looks like on the offensive side. We got Ohio State, who is 9-0. They're coming off a 34-10 win versus Purdue. 9-game winning streak on the season, and they just continue to roll. And honestly, they're not getting that much competition. They're just kind of playing some average teams here, other than Texas and I would say Washington. Kind of a weak schedule, and they really don't have much to play for. Honestly, they're the clear number 1. There's no doubt about that. But UCLA is a really bad team, and they're even worse on the road. I like Ohio State to just blow these guys out completely. They're going to put up a 40 burger here. And this is my lock of the week. I'm taking Ohio State minus 31.5. All right, game 3. We got Virginia at Duke. Duke is a 5.5-point favorite. Virginia 8-2, coming off a 16-9 loss to Wake Forest. Snapped a 7-game winning streak for Virginia. Their best win was a 30-27 win versus Louisville. Quarterback Chandler Morris got injured, and he's most likely not going to play this game against Duke. Then we have Duke, who's 5-4. They're coming off a 37-34 loss to UConn. Big Ree. They gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter, and they've lost. They've lost some good teams. They've lost to Illinois. They've lost to Georgia Tech. They've lost to Tulane. And then they're lost to UConn, which is not a good team. And there's my thoughts there. This was a fluke loss for Duke. They were on back-to-back road games, and everybody knows when you're on back-to-back road games in college football, that's a big deal. This is a Vegas special here. You got Virginia 8-2, and then you got a Duke team who's 5-4 coming off a loss to UConn, and Duke is a 5.5-point favorite. I like Duke. I'm taking Duke minus 5.5. All right, Big Ree, let's go.
The first game I got is Friday night, Clemson at Louisville. Clemson 4-5, coming off a 24-10 win versus Florida State, while Louisville is coming off an upset loss to Cal 29-26 in overtime. And Clemson's 4 wins come versus Troy, North Carolina, Boston College, and last week, Florida State. Out of those 4 wins, their most impressive win is probably Florida State. Louisville is 7-2. They haven't beat many good teams either. Eastern Kentucky, James Madison, Bowling Green, Pittsburgh. They did beat Miami, Boston College, Virginia Tech. Most impressive was versus Miami, and in Miami, QB Miller Moss will have a bounce back game, and I'm taking Louisville minus 3.5. The second game I got is Arizona at Cincinnati. Arizona coming off a 24-20 win versus Kansas at home. Cincinnati coming off a bye week. Their last game was November 1st versus Utah. They were blown out 45-14 at Utah. Arizona is a 6-3 team. They have beaten Hawaii, Weber State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Colorado, and Kansas. Nothing impressive there. QB Noah Fafita has had an okay year. His best games come versus Oklahoma State and Weber State. The key things here to recognize are: 1, Arizona was good at home. Arizona was at home, and they struggled versus Kansas. They were losing in that game. 2, Cincinnati is coming off a bye week, and versus Utah, the loss was in Utah on the road. Secondly, this is a noon Eastern game, which is 10 a.m. Arizona time, which does make a difference. And I'm taking Cincinnati minus 6.5. That's my lock of the week. The last game I got is Utah at Baylor. Utah coming off a bye week. As I just mentioned, they blew out Cincinnati. Baylor coming off a bye week as well. Last game was November 1st versus Central Florida, where they blew them out 30-3. Baylor hasn't had many wins on the season. Best one comes versus ASU. All I want to say is here, don't get fooled by the Baylor's win versus Central Florida. Utah is a much better team, and they're going to win by double digits very easily. I'm taking Utah minus 9.5.
Bam. All right. Okay, looking forward to a juicy weekend, Big Ree, and going to get that money train rolling. So, all right. Good luck, boys and girls.